For 15 years, he had been running the same hunting school. Robert Bob Mitchell was known by his clients living in the mountains of Montana as just the quiet hunting instructor. He never spoke, did his job, lived in harmony with nature, until that dangerous day. Welcome to Hidden Hero Stories. Before we begin this incredible Navy SEAL story, tell me in the comments which city you're watching from today. And if you believe stories like these hidden heroes need to be heard, hit that subscribe button and help us keep these stories alive. In the Glacier County region of Montana, at the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, there was a small hunting school. The Mitchell Hunting School sign had stood in the same place for 15 years. Its owner, Robert Bob Mitchell, was 60 years old, gray-haired, deep blue-eyed, and a quiet man. Robert was Montana's most respected hunting instructor. Every year, hunters from all over the country came to learn from him. Perfect shooting techniques, tracking game, survival in nature. He was considered an expert in every subject. "Oh, Bob is the best instructor," said one of his clients. "Patient, knowledgeable, and shoots incredibly well." This was true. Robert was nearly perfect when it came to hunting, but he never talked about himself, his past, his family, where he came from. He wouldn't discuss any of it. Robert's home was a small cabin next to the school. Simple, clean, minimal. On his walls were only Montana landscapes and hunting photos. No personal items, no memories. But in Robert's basement, there was a special room no one knew about. Locked, soundproofed. Only he knew what was inside. Every morning he would wake up at 5, go for a run. In the mountainous terrain, 10 kilometers. Then he would return home, have breakfast, and go to his school. The same routine in the evening. Never changed. His clients appreciated Robert's disciplined lifestyle, but no one questioned where this discipline came from. That cold October morning, Robert began his normal routine. He went for a run at 5, had breakfast at 7, and went to school at 8. Today, there was a new group coming from the city. The group leader was David Thompson, a 45-year-old businessman. He'd come with his friends to take hunting lessons for the weekend. "Mr. Mitchell," said David, "we're at beginner level. You might need to be patient with us." Robert smiled. "No problem, everyone can learn." The first lesson was about gun safety and basic shooting techniques. Robert saw that the group had no experience at all, but patiently he taught them step by step. "Breath control is very important," said Robert. "Before shooting, take a long, deep breath, then exhale half, hold it, fire at that moment." The group was impressed with Robert's teaching method, calm, clear, effective. "How do you shoot so well?" asked David. Robert paused. "Years of experience." "What do you mean? Just hunting?" "Various things, but now just hunting." David noticed Robert's evasive answer, but he didn't press. In the afternoon, there was a practical shooting lesson outdoors. Robert had set up a target at 200 meters. It was quite a difficult distance for the group. "This distance is too far for us," said one of the group members. "Normal for beginners," said Robert, "but to demonstrate, I'll take a shot first." Robert took his rifle, took position. He didn't use any telescopic sight, just normal iron sights. One shot, right in the center of the target. The group was mesmerized. "This is incredible. How did you do it?" Robert remained modest. "Practice, lots of practice." But David was observing carefully. Robert's position, breathing technique, trigger control. These weren't things an ordinary hunter would know. "Mr. Mitchell, do you have a military background?" Robert hesitated. "Long time ago, but that chapter is closed." "Which branch?" "Navy, but I'm retired." David was curious. "What did you do in the Navy?" "Various duties, but the details aren't important." The group showed even more respect after learning about Robert's military past. But Robert didn't want to give too many details. That evening, the group was going to return to the city, but then Robert's phone rang. It was local Sheriff Jim Carter. "Bob, I need your help." "What happened, Jim?" "Dangerous situation in town. Armed suspect. Took hostages. I need a sharpshooter." Robert's heart stopped. For 15 years, he had never received such a request. "Jim, I'm not in that business anymore." "Bob, we have no other option. The nearest SWAT team is 3 hours away. You're our only chance." Robert thought for a long time. "What are the details?" "Bank robbery. Suspect is holding hostages. Without an expert marksman, the risk is too high. Robert's old instincts awakened. I'm coming. David and his group had heard this conversation. Mr. Mitchell, what's happening? Emergency in town. For your safety, it's better if you stay here. Can we help? Number, this is my job. Robert went to his special room in the basement. After years, he was opening that door. Inside were special equipment, sniper rifle with telescopic sight, tactical gear, communication equipment, all in perfect condition, well maintained. Robert took the equipment. After 15 years, he was operational again. David and his group saw Robert coming out of the basement. He was a completely different person. Professional, focused, determined. Mr. Mitchell, you're... No time, emergency. Robert got in his pickup truck and headed to town. During the 45-minute drive, he went through scenarios in his mind. In the city center, there was chaos, police cars, ambulances, fire trucks. A security perimeter had been established around First National Bank. Sheriff Jim Carter was relieved when he saw Robert. Bob, thank you so much. What's the situation? Suspect is Mark Williams, 35 years old, has mental health problems, entered the bank, took 4 hostages, armed, desperate. Robert analyzed the situation. What are his demands? Money and escape route, but he's unstable. Negotiation is going very slowly. Where will my position be? Jim pointed to the 3rd floor of the opposite building. From there, you can see inside the bank. Robert went up to the building. He set up his professional equipment. Through the scope, he made a situation assessment. Inside the bank, there were 4 hostages, 2 women, 2 men. The suspect was nervous, making erratic movements. The situation was volatile. Robert followed the situation on the police radio. Suspect is getting increasingly agitated. Hostages are at risk. Bob, do you have a chance? Asked Jim. Robert made a long-range assessment. Difficult shot. Hostages are too close. Risk of collateral damage. We have no other choice. SWAT team is still 2 hours away. Robert remembered his old training. Navy SEAL sniper doctrine. 1 shot, 1 kill. Precision above all. Jim, for a perfect shot, you need to isolate the suspect from the hostages. How? Have the negotiator draw the suspect to the front of the bank. He'll keep the hostages in the back. The plan was implemented. The negotiator drew Mark Williams to the front window. The hostages remained in the back area. Robert found the perfect angle. 150-meter distance, slight wind, clear line of sight. But then, the situation got even worse. Screaming could be heard from inside the bank. I'm going to kill all of you, Williams was shouting. Police, back off. One of the hostages, a young woman, was sobbing. Please, let me go. Williams pointed his gun at the woman's head. Shut up. Robert was watching the situation through his scope. His heart rate increased. In situations like this, seconds made the difference between life and death. Jim, the suspect, is very unstable. He's preparing to kill the hostages. What can we do? Call the negotiator. Have him calm the suspect down. Buy me time. The negotiator continued talking to Williams. Mark, I understand you, but don't hurt the hostages. They're innocent. Nobody understands me, Williams shouted. My life is ruined. Robert, adjusting his scope, watched the suspect's every move. His mental state, body language, the position of his weapon. Everything was critical. Suddenly, Williams became even more angry. My time is up. I'm going to kill someone. He pointed his gun at the young woman. His finger was on the trigger. Bob, intervene immediately, Jim shouted. Robert moved into sniper position. 20 years of training was now kicking in. Breath control, long, deep breath, exhale half, hold, heart rate slowed, the world stopped. Wind speed, 5 miles per hour, left to right. Distance, 150 meters. Target, 2-inch area. Robert adjusted his scope. The crosshairs focused on Williams's head in a way that would keep the hostages safe. Bob, are you ready? Asked Jim. Robert applied pressure to the trigger. Muscle memory kicked in, a movement repeated for years. Ready? But make sure there's no other option. Confirmed. Hostages are in immediate danger. Williams was pulling the trigger. The young woman screamed. At that moment, Robert fired. 1 shot, precise, professional. The threat was eliminated. The hostages were safe. Williams fell to the ground. The gun dropped from his hand. He wasn't moving. Inside the bank, there was silence. Then, screams of relief. Are you safe? Jim shouted. "We're safe!" came the reply from one of the hostages. Robert lowered his rifle. His hands were shaking slightly. After 20 years, he had made a life-or-death shot again. "Target neutralized," he reported on the radio. SWAT team cleared the bank. The hostages were taken to ambulances for medical checks. None of them were injured. Jim approached Robert. "Bob, incredible job. You saved lives." Robert packed his equipment. "I just did what was necessary." "Will you tell me who you are?" Robert thought for a long time. "Former Navy SEAL, sniper specialist." Jim's breath stopped. "You were a SEAL?" 20 years, but I'm retired." "Why did you never mention it?" "Because that life is behind me." At that moment, David and his group arrived. They had been watching the situation. "Mr. Mitchell, you're a real hero," said David. Robert shook his head. "I'm just a citizen. Duty called." "But your background is incredible." Robert reluctantly began to tell his story. "I served in the Navy SEALs from 1995 to 2015. Sniper specialist." "Where were you deployed?" "Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, various locations." Jim was curious. "Can you talk about your missions?" "Some details are classified, but generally counterterrorism operations." David was impressed. "These are very dangerous jobs." "Yes, but teamwork. I was just one component." Robert told about his career highlights, without classified details. "As a sniper, precision is very important. Mistake tolerance is 0. "How many missions were you on?" 200+ operations, but I don't remember the details." Jim appreciated Robert's modesty. "So why did you come to Montana?" Robert's expression changed. "Personal reasons. I was looking for peace." "Did you start a family?" "I was married, Lisa, but military life was hard for her." "Did you divorce?" "In 2010. Deployments were too frequent. I was never home." David understood Robert's sacrifice. "Children?" "A son, Michael, but he doesn't talk to me. I missed his childhood." There was sadness in Robert's voice. "That's why I came to Montana. Peaceful life, nature, quiet." "Why did you choose hunting instruction?" "Because I could transfer my skills, but now for life, not for death." Jim admired Robert's perspective. "You saved lives again today." "It was my duty. Once a warrior, always a warrior." A month later, an unusual visitor came to Robert's hunting school, a young man in his 30s who looked familiar. "Dad?" Robert was surprised. "Michael?" His son had come for the first time in 8 years. "Dad, I saw it on the news, the bank incident." "Michael, you—" "Dad, I'm proud. You're a hero." Robert became emotional. "Michael, Dad, I'm sorry. I didn't understand you." Robert hugged his son. "I'm sorry, too. I neglected you." "Dad, now I understand. You were protecting the country." Robert was hearing the words he had been waiting for years. "Michael, I made mistakes. I didn't prioritize family." "Dad, but you served. Important service." The two men talked for hours. They tried to recover the lost years. "Dad, are you continuing hunting instruction?" "Yes, but now I want family time too." Michael smiled. "Can I learn too?" "Of course, but first, safety rules." From that day on, Robert's life changed. Michael began making monthly visits. The father-son relationship was rebuilt. At the hunting school, students began showing different respect to Robert, but Robert remained the same modest instructor. "You're a legend," said one of the students. "I'm a teacher. I just share experience." "But your military background is incredible." "Military was just part of my career. Now, civilian, peaceful life." Robert brought a different approach to new students. He taught not just hunting, but responsibility and ethics too. Hunting is not sport, it's skill, for respect. What does respect mean? Respect for animals, for nature, for life. No unnecessary killing. Robert's philosophy deeply affected his students. They weren't just learning to shoot, they were getting life lessons. One day, Jim Carter came again. "Bob, federal agents want to meet with you." "Why?" "Consulting job, terrorism threat, they need sniper expertise," Robert thought. Permanent job? Number consultation only for training purposes? I need to talk to Michael. Michael supported his father's decision. Dad, you should share your expertise. Robert accepted the limited consulting. Monthly basis, assistance to FBI training. Today, Robert Mitchell still operates his hunting school in Montana. But now he also has an additional role, federal law enforcement training consultant. Every month he goes to Quantico, giving advanced training to FBI sniper candidates. Students, precision is not just a technical skill, it's also mental discipline. How is it developed? Patience, focus, respect for responsibility. Every shot has consequences. Robert's training philosophy gives valuable lessons to the new generation. In the evenings in his cabin in Montana, he enjoys the peace of nature, but now he also has family connection. Michael spends quality time with his father on hunting trips. They're recovering the lost years. Dad, you're my hero, says Michael. Michael, you're my pride. Family is most important. Robert's motto, precision in service, peace in life. And every day, he balances two worlds, peaceful hunting instruction in Montana, national security contribution at the federal level. Robert Mitchell served as a Navy SEAL for 20 years, precision missions, life-death decisions. Now he uses the same skills for teaching and protecting in a peaceful setting. Because true warriors continue to serve in peacetime too. Only the method changes, the dedication remains the same. As Hidden Hero Stories, we ask you, have you ever met someone like Robert, someone with elite military training in their past but now doing quiet service in civilian life? Have you appreciated their hidden expertise? Share in the comments. Because around us, there are people with incredible backgrounds. They may have life-saving skills, but they choose humble lives. Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, subscribe and share. Because real heroes don't seek glory. They just step forward when needed. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, pay attention to the quiet professionals around you. They might be silent guardians,